All right, Dateline, Keith Morrison. What the hell are you talking about? The Florida man again? What are we doing?
Let me actually do this in a Keith Morrison way. It was supposed to be a place where kittens would get their ears clipped, or perhaps your puppy would go so it didn't have more puppies.
So how are we getting from a pet store to a murder?
Well, they may have bargained for... They may have bit off a little more than they could chew. No, this is crazy, dude. You're not going to believe this.
Okay.
So Clearwater, Florida, Dateline, Clearwater, Florida, renowned plastic surgeon.
Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant guy.
Right.
Is getting sued by a lawyer.
Right.
Short story long, he goes and he kills the lawyer. Allegedly.
Okay. All right.
Not uncommon for you?
Something we've all wanted to do, let's be honest, for an overcharging attorney, but I'll go with it. Yes, of course.
But the circumstances leading up to this, I think you will find absolutely unbelievably extraordinary.
Okay.
So this guy's name is Kozowski, plastic surgeon.
And it's in a Thrive Pet store.
Thrive Pet Healthcare.
Okay, so I'm going to take little Fluffy in to get a clip or something.
And you may get a little more than a clip.
Okay.
So, but check this out. So here's where this gets really weird. And of course, the lawyer's office is in the same building as the pet care.
Okay. Right.
So there's this guy, this plastic surgeon, decides to represent himself in this case that he's getting sued by the lawyer whose name is Cozy.
Okay.
Who is now passed. Right. God rest his soul. And I'm sorry for his family, but this is unbelievable. So the circumstances leading up to it is that this guy Kozowski is going into the building, and he's allowed to because he's playing an attorney,
right?
But what people didn't know is that he's going into a supply closet adjacent to Cozy's bathroom,
right?
And day after day, he's bringing in supplies. Now, these aren't lawyer supplies; they're not pens and pencils and data and briefs.
Right.
He's bringing in supplies to ultimately kill the lawyer in his own bathroom.
Okay. A kill room. All right.
He's building a kill room. And then how does he get access to this supply closet? Somebody who works for the Thrive Pet Pathway Vet Alliance took a lock off the door of the supply closet and hid it. And it had been off for a while. So now this guy has a place to come and plan his murder of his attorney. Not his attorney, of the attorney who's trying to, or who's suing him.
Yeah.
So, one day, the woman, I think it was the woman who actually took the lock off, and she's innocent in all this.
Right.
She just took a lock off. She goes into that supply closet, and dude is in there.
Right.
The attorney is in there with a surgical mask and other paraphernalia that like a big vat that, you put dirty linens in and you roll in and out.
Yeah.
One of those things is in there.
Yeah. Maybe hide a body in.
Perhaps. We'll see what happens with that. So he, the cops, she calls the police. She does the right thing. She calls the police. The police come down and say, well, we don't know who this guy is. We don't know what he was doing. He said, oh, I'm just here for like a power outage or something. And he leaves and nothing is done. And the door still isn't locked. I believe a week later, the guy has all of his gear in there, goes into the bathroom and brutally murders the attorney. Okay. Again, allegedly, he has not been convicted yet, but they have him taking the body out. They have him driving the body down to like Fort Myers or something. Jesus. They have all the blood. They have all the cleanup. They have cameras of him coming in and outside of the building. So just stories that you never.
So they didn't look at the cameras beforehand when they saw the guy in there and said, who the hell is this?
Clearly they didn't match those two things up. I mean, the ball was dropped so many times here. I'm no attorney, but man, if I was, the police not looking at the security cameras if they didn't, and this doggone door.
Dude setting up a kill room.
100%. And had gotten away with it to a certain extent. So unfortunately, there's a dead guy. And, this Thrive Pet Healthcare has 400 places around America. And I'm not saying that if you take your dog or your cat or your monkey or your fish or whatever into Thrive Pet Care, that their care is going to be any worse. But you might just want to ask a couple of
questions like, who's working here? Who's working around here? Wow.
And you might want to check the supply closet.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Yeah.
That's That's not good.
That's
So-
Florida man for you.
So how did this all end? He
So-
gets hacked up by the plastic surgeon in the supply closet and taken down to the Fort Myers, the Everglades.
They saw this last time. They saw that they were able to ping
Oh.
his phone and his plates in Fort Myers down by the Everglades.
Yeah, you never think just going to a pet store or to your law office, you're going to get hacked up and by a plastic surgeon. But I guess if you're building kill rooms, allowed to build kill rooms, that's not. It can happen.
It just I'm for once verklempt. I don't know.
That doesn't happen often.
Yeah. So it definitely sheds a new light on bringing Fluffy in.
Yeah.
To for a new beau.
Yes. Check your supply closets too.
Check your supply
wherever you are. Check your
closets.
supply
Good
closet,
God.
especially if you're overbilling people.